Hi, I'm Toni Reilly and welcome to A Look Within, and for this show I'm joined by Sasha Brisk, and she has written a wonderful book on indigo children, and it's called I Am An Indigo Child, Hear My Words. And Sasha's actually written more than just this book, and we'll talk to her about that. But welcome, Sasha.
Hello, Toni. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. I thought it would be a really interesting topic. I know you've got many things that we could talk about, but so many people ask about their children coming in, what's an indigo child, and all of these kinds of things. I don't usually use any labels, but you've written this beautiful book called I'm an Indigo Child, Hear My Words, which I think has come from your own experience growing up as a particularly sensitive child. So can you just tell us how this book came about for you and how you felt as a child growing up?
Yeah.
Special or sensitive, however you describe it.
I think just after growing up, being around my parents and then being around my friends at school, I felt a bit of change in myself, and I knew there was something that wasn't right or wasn't normal, and I felt quite different to a lot of other kids when I was younger, and I couldn't quite ever figure it out what exactly it was, and I just kept thinking, do I belong? I even asked my parents once, where did I come from, because I didn't know really if it was from them, and I just felt there were so many characteristics about myself that was slightly different, and not a lot of my close friends had shared the same characteristics, so I started questioning why I was here, who I was, and if I was normal. I just didn't quite fit in, and I had a lot of characteristics that now, since I've kind of done some research on it, and it just makes a lot of sense that I was a very sensitive child and very sensitive to a lot of events that even happened around the world, and my emotions were quite receptive, and I could feel that there was something there, and after I started connecting with a lot of like-minded people, they started to say, have you ever heard of the word indigo or the word indigo children? And I said, oh, no. And then I researched it and felt, wow, I'm very connected with the world, very connected with energy in general and in emotions. And then it made sense that I could actually connect with spirit too, because since I was a child, I was able to sense and feel spirit, and it just felt normal to me since I was growing up. And then I started to write about it because I knew that there were other kids like me, and there were young adults as well who were growing up as indigos, and I felt, how can I help connect us all? And I knew there was a purpose, and this purpose I decided to write about. So the book, I'm an Indigo Child, Hear My Words, is about just transcending humanity through the upcoming change of consciousness and into what we would call like the next dimension, I suppose. So, yeah.
Do you think that the kids, how old are you now? Are you 24?
25.
Okay.
26.
Yeah. Okay, so you're still very young. So from my experience and the young people that I come across, everybody probably from about your age down, or maybe even 30-ish now and backwards down, the kids are just coming in, or the young people coming in so much more sensitive. And I know even with numerology, which gives sort of a blueprint, all the children born in the 2000s each have a number 2 in their birth date. Some of us do that are born in the 1900s, but with the kids that are coming in the 2000s, they all do, and that 2 is very representative of that sort of kind and empathy energy that I think is what you're talking about, where these young people or people are coming in now to evolve the change in humanity and obviously make us more aware and kind of bring us back to more, humanitarian, because we've gotten away, over many hundreds of years, we've sort of evolved away out of that, and we're coming right back into it. So that's what I see the role of the indigo children, or these sort of special, more empathetic and really, really kind souls that come in.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, because a lot of us that try to help other people, and when we sense their energy, we sort of feel like we know exactly what they're talking about, and we try to help them by guiding them in a way that they wouldn't normally go and do. And some of the ways could be, connecting with nature, because a lot of the Indigos, they feel more connected just being around rainforest and bush and trees and the ocean, rather than going out and socialising with their friends out at the pub, because that's something that I've never really been big into.
Yeah.
Growing up, I had experienced a small part of it, but I grew out of it very, very quickly, and it just was never my thing. And I prefer to be connecting with who I am more than anything, and connecting with like-minded people, and going to workshops like yours, Toni, and learning more about how to heal yourself and heal others. So it's inspiring, yeah.
Sasha, that is such an interesting sort of way that you've spoken about your life, because I'm in my 40s, my early 40s, so for me it was very much about being social, and I didn't start to really look at myself until my mid-30s. So for you to have done that so much more early in your life, it just really shows the differences across the generations for how this is, coming to play for us. Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely see the change in people and the difference, and you just know, it's hard to sort of explain the experience that you have, because you can't really explain it unless you've experienced it. And I know yourself, Toni, you explain all your connections with spirit and how you do readings and healing, and that's amazing. And I sort of can understand and feel that too, because I've experienced some of it too. And it's very hard to be able to share that with someone who's never had an experience with the connection to spirit, and you just don't really know how to explain it to them, because it's hard for these people to comprehend it. And these people are the people that they've always got this gift and this awareness inside of them, but it's just making them more aware of who we are and why we're here. We're not just a human, we're a spiritual being living a human experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, or I hope anyway, that people who are, I guess, inverted commas, who are meant to be taking part in this evolution, I guess, I like to call it that anyway, in this evolution of humanity, that they in their time, they become drawn to, I guess, whoever is appealing to them and whoever they're drawn to wake up to some extent, and to embrace the gifts that they have, whether it's with healing. And I think probably just as commonly as people who work in this sort of spiritual realm, there are so many people who work in mainstream work, and they are doing amazing things as well. And I guess people who are working in mainstream type jobs are having a really awesome effect on people, because it's not like they're the people who are talking to them, or the ones that they're talking to or listening to, actually feel like there's even anything wrong with them. So they're really having a great effect without anybody even realising it. Do you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you on that. So what you're saying is those people aren't quite aware of what's going on around them.
Yeah.
Sort of what you mean. Yeah. It's hard, because it's like waves of being consciously aware and then not consciously being aware. And when you're actually aware of what's going on, it's amazing how fast people come together. And when I have a look at the global events that are going on at the moment, it's amazing how, even though it's all over the media, people just come together really quickly nowadays. Anyway, since maybe the past even a couple of decades, people now just want to help as much as they can. And I've noticed a massive change lately, especially even in the business world, like in the city. And
yeah.
I know you used to be in the city there. It's just, people are sometimes tied up in their own business and politics and finance and the high-end sales even, and they sort of forget about what's really going on. And until a massive event happens, like an avalanche or an earthquake or a tsunami, people go, oh wait, actually there is a world around me, and there are people that things could happen to them at any time, and we've just got to connect with nature and listen to them, because Mother Nature is trying to tell us all something, and we're not really responding enough. Like, we're responding, but we're not responding enough, and that's something that I really care about and feel as well.
Do you think these big natural disasters that we're seeing, I truly believe that they are to help us become more aware that we are these humans and we need to be taking notice of people who are around us and get out of our... We're actually quite insular. I'm generalising with Western society, but we do get so caught up in maybe not even knowing who your neighbours are. I'm even guilty of that. You live in a street with these same people for a long time, and maybe I haven't even been across the road to say hello or introduce yourself. So it's sort of, you get so caught up in life and I suppose in your own life and in yourself that you forget. And I think that they're terrible, these natural disasters, but I think that's what the point of them is, to wake us up and realise that there's so much more out there, and we need to be taking notice of each other a lot more.
Oh, right, that's making a reminder.
Yeah. Sasha, what about if you find, or if there are people listening who have maybe kids of their own that they feel are particularly sensitive, or, maybe their nieces or nephew, can these people get in touch with you? Do you run workshops or anything for children or for the parents of children to sort of embrace this in their children? Do you do anything like that?
I haven't started running workshops for parents of children as yet, but I am running workshops that involve looking within you as a spiritual being. So a lot of those workshops are like chakra empowerment workshops and balancing workshops. I recently ran one last Monday evening just in Brackenridge, and great outcome. And I found that it was all about sort of looking within you and understanding you as a person before you could really even help someone else, because you had to know sort of where you stood and make sure that you were quite balanced and content within. And then you could, if you were to help other people, apply that same experience. And then when you teach others, you then therefore help yourself as well. And I've started doing those workshops, which have been successful, with workshops with other parents and children. Definitely looking to do those in the near future. Yeah. So, that would be great for people to keep in contact with me. But I'm just hoping the book that I've written about indigo children, even if parents had a read of that, they'd understand what a child was like and why they're so reactive, because there's a lot of concerns with children now. Who are indigos, the new generation of children, they are reactive to authority, and they like to sort of be in control a lot more, and when they are told to do something, if they inside feel that it's not right, they actually don't do it. And the parents have to understand why these children react immediately and don't want to, and it's because they think that they're right. And sometimes their children are obviously right because they way they feel, but then it's sometimes, the parents do use common sense, and therefore the children use common sense as well. So it's just about educating them at the same time.
That's so interesting, because it makes me think of my son, who he really has got this right to be right, and you can't question it. He's so right. And just how you've explained that just then, it's like, there's no way I ever could win. With, even, like you say, as much as there needs to be common sense in there, and I guess there are boundaries that, as very young people and children, that they kind of have to adhere to, or they're going to really struggle to fit in with society even more so. So, he's been my little challenge to, just to notice. But I have to say, he's only 15 now. He is the cleverest. I mean, when I say clever, it's more like wisdom, or the things that come out of his mouth are just like, where does that come from? Because it's nothing that I've said. He's not parroting me, and it's like, it just sounds like it's coming from a really... Yeah. So...
the wise souls in young bodies. Well, that's, we do believe that, and it's just about remembering, who we are, and everything comes to fruition. So yeah, he's very smart, and you'll find a lot of Indigos too are very the newer Indigos that are coming through are very switched on with technology.
Okay, and I suppose that at a base level, that's how, that we're going to pioneer these ways to get through all the different societies that we have, because it seems like no matter where you are, and no matter what country you're in, if it's Western or not, they've got the internet. They've got
it. That's fantastic, because it, even though, you've got the connection of the energy through electricity, it can affect our sleep, but it is a fast way of communicating.
Absolutely.
And that's something that Indigos understand, and they can communicate with perhaps their Facebook base of 3,000 friends or 4,000 friends in one click.
Absolutely.
So they can spread messages around that way, whereas if they were, I did write, 2 books, but if you can put your message on social media as well, you can connect with like-minded people in an instant. And for the people that want to know how to help themselves, they can look for people who are an interest to them, or perhaps that they're passionate about, and use as a mentor and follow their daily affirmations. Or Toni, I know you do, I think, daily tarot cards.
Yeah.
So it's something that people can learn from, and it doesn't cost you anything either.
Yeah, that's so true. I actually love Facebook. It took me a little while to get over myself and get on there, but once I did, I became addicted. That was one thing. Or I really like interacting with people. I find it 99.9% of the time really positive, and it's positive feedback when people bother to comment and all that kind of thing. So it's really, I think it's an amazing tool of our century. It's incredible. Yeah.
And even if you were to connect with people, they do inbox you questions, and they ask you. I had one lady ask me about her she had a particular gem that I can't remember now. She described it to me, and I told her what it meant and what she needed to do with it. It was a pink rose quartz, and she felt she needed to pop it in her bra, and she felt close to her heart. And then I sort of helped her as to explaining why she was feeling connected to doing that, and just little questions like that, and it's just communication with people can just make them feel so much more inspired. And it's just about listening. So like with parents and children, if they've got questions for you as why is this happening the way that it is, parents just need to listen to them and just help them as much as they can, regardless of what the question is or whether it relates to them or not.
Yeah. So certainly, thankfully and so far I've found that most people who, I guess, parents adore their children at the baseline, and usually even if the parents are not aware of psychic ability or sensitivity, they certainly want to do what's right for their children. And I find that people are not, only the ones that have approached me I can only go by, but they do seem to want to help their children and embrace what's going on for them, rather than making fun of them or telling them it's ridiculous or this kind of thing. So Sasha, if parents are wondering what do they do, what do we do with these kids that's saying they can see things, there's nothing there? How do you advise them to, behave with their children when their kids are saying things like this?
There's a couple of things you can do, depending on where they see these things. Most common would be in, awake, being consciously awake. Yeah. But for a solution, if they were seeing them in their dreams, would be to, if I've had a lot of people say that their children are seeing their father pass away, in their dreams, and they've appeared, or even they've appeared when they've been awake. And I've asked the parents to get some paper out, some white paper, and some colouring in pencils or some crayons, and ask the children to draw what they see. And it just sort of helps them therapeutically as well, and creatively record what they're actually experiencing, because sometimes it's hard for children to communicate with their parents as to what's actually going on. And something as fun as drawing can actually, release a little bit more of what's going on. Another thing could be just explaining in truth what's actually going on, because children who experience spirits, see and feel them, they think it's normal, but they also think, because they haven't experienced it before, what does this mean? Am I meant to be scared? Does my mum see it? If my mum doesn't see it, maybe I shouldn't be seeing it as well. So if the parents can just understand that, yes, it does happen, and it's common, and it's more common than it ever has been before, it'll happen more. I think the children will be okay. And so long as it doesn't become any negative energy, then it's going to be okay. I mean, that's when we've got to start putting into practice a couple of things to help me cleanse your room, and any particular affirmations that may help keep the child in a positive state, because fear will attract negative energy anyway. So another thing would be for parents to connect with other parents that have the same thing going on.
Yeah.
And social media, again, it's free. It's a free tool. They could just Google or even Facebook gifted children or psychic abilities or psychic development, or even go and do a workshop themselves on connecting with spirit, so they could be in the same field or state as their children. And if for any reason they don't experience it, it doesn't matter, as long as they've sort of given it a go to help be on the same path as their child. So.
And I guess if they were to attend a workshop themselves, then they're going to, again, be around like minds, and those like minds are like their children. So yeah, that's a great idea. It's really, really good. I love your idea with the drawing with the children as well. That sounds a really awesome thing to do for them. Especially, I suppose, the kids can start saying this kind of thing like from 2, or probably before they can even write or anything. So drawing is going to make it a lot more. I guess the parents are going to really understand that they are seeing something as well.
It will also depend on the parents that they're really good. So if start to get lots of black and they're feeling a lot with the black, maybe they're really deep red colours or dark brown. These children might be very fearful of what's actually going on.
Oh, the audio went crazy then. It's come good now. Oh.
So spirit's connecting with us.
Sasha. It's right. Good now. It's good. Oh, it's gone really clear now. So that's good.
Yeah, I remember the time we were at your workshop, Toni, and something happened to your computer. I think it turned off or something, and we just went, uh-oh.
Oh, it's certainly an awesome world to be working in, that's for sure. I just love it. So, Sasha, what about, where can people buy either of your books? So, I'm thinking you have a website, sashabrisk.com, and do they buy the books through there, or have you got them on Amazon?
We've got them on a couple of sites. I would love to have you connect with me through my website.
Okay.
So for the people that are listening, www.sashabrisk.com, and both of my books are on there for sale if you'd like to have a read. And they come in ebook format as well, so you don't need to have them printed. You can read them on your Kindle or whichever you prefer. And they are also available on Amazon and also the Balboa Press website.
Okay.
So there's a couple of different places. If you can connect with me through my website, then I'd be able to sort of help you in any way possible. And if you've got any questions, email me. I'm always available to answer questions, and I want to help as many people as possible.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think you might be getting an influx of questions from now and have to get these workshops underway pretty quickly.
I'd love to. If you could definitely let me know if you'd be interested. I'm from Redcliffe, so if I've got a couple of ladies already interested in the workshop, I'll get them together straight away. Yeah,
okay, that's good. So, guys, if you want to contact Sasha, and Redcliffe is near Brisbane, so if you're around that area, you can easily get in touch with Sasha via her website and, organise to get together a little workshop where you can understand your children. Sasha, I saw people at... I'm trying to remember the woman's name, and I will remember it and give it to you after we stop talking on the show. But she ran a children's, sort of like a psychic fair, but it wasn't. They had them drawing and things like that. And I gave a talk about the sensitive kids there, so that might be something really good for you to get in touch with. To get your... We'll get your workshop out there, and because there's certainly plenty of people wanting to come along. And at this particular fair, the kids were little. They were like, the mums were there with their babies and like 2-3-year-old sort of age group kids. They're little cuties. Yeah. So that is definitely something that we worth. There's just so much calling for it, actually. Tell me, let's talk a little bit about, there's one thing I'd really love to discuss with you. We're talking about the young people today and needing to, I guess, to get help holistically and feeling content within themselves instead of seeking out. Western medicine is very inclined to hand out antidepressants and that kind of thing, and I really would love to hear your opinion or your take on what goes on with this, and maybe your advice, or how you see that works today.
Yeah, definitely. Nowadays, society rely a lot on a pill to fix the problem. So if they can seek alternatively and natural before they take the trip to the doctor, you'll find that your body will be more receptive to natural healing and won't rely on a pill every day. And you will therefore mentally change the way that you think, because people who are making a habit out of taking a pill for a problem are taking a pill every day now. I have a headache, take a pill. I feel stressed out, let's go and take a Valium or something. So every drug has some sort of negative impact on the body unless it's naturally made. And we are not made up of what's in these drugs, and unless it's life-threatening, then perhaps that's definitely the way to go. But for someone that is quite stressed out, it is because they're not living in the present moment. They're living either from past memories that are still, challenging them at the moment and they still can't let go. Or they're living in the future and they're expecting too much of themselves or expecting too much of their friends and family, and it's not going to happen until the future. So for people who are stressed, it's about connecting within and being in the present moment and understanding why you're alive right now and what's going on right now and how you can deal with changes right now. And when you really connect with yourself energetically, you don't get sick. You don't, not often anyway. You don't get colds very often. You don't have problems that go wrong with you, and you can cope with change more easily. And when you have questions asked, you are able to answer them a little bit more fluently, and you feel a lot more focused as well. And some of the tools you can use that will help with just connecting with your emotions and your energy is just, relaxation or meditation. And a meditation could simply just be walking along the beach, because you are more connected with yourself and what's going on, listening to the waves, the birds. It could even be going to a workshop and connecting with spirit, because spirit also helps to guide you, and we are all connected anyway. Another workshop could be to do some yoga, because yoga helps to release blockages within your body. Yeah. And when you are blocked, you find it hard to move forward as well. So just little exercises like that, and also avoiding being around people who distract you from being the true person that you are, because peer pressure does change who you really are, and if you don't feel good about it, then don't move forward with it. Yeah. That's pretty much the advice that I can give to people, because the world is changing, and if you're going to follow the herd, you are going to end up on the other side, and you've really got to stay in your true form, and that's the only way we can move forward in humanity.
Awesome. That's great. So that's really well said. Very good. So, Sasha, I just want to mention your website once again, and you're on Facebook as well. So people who are listening, I'll have this information on the radio show where you can go and get the link to Sasha's Facebook page and also the names of the books. I'm an Indigo Child, Hear My Words, and the other one is Born with a Gift, where Sasha's talking about. Well, Sasha, give us a little sell or a rundown on what Born with a Gift is about.
Okay. So the book is about it's about strengthening your psychic ability and becoming more aware energetically as well, and essentially rewiring those inner channels of excitement, wonder that's going on in you and around you, and obviously the joy that's within you. And I basically dedicated it to those who choose to renew their sense of meaning in life, because we've all got some sort of meaning, and a lot of people ask questions about who they are and where they're going. And some of the chapters that I've written are really, really exciting. I like to sort of branch out quite a lot when it comes to understanding who you are, and I talk about how you can interpret your own dreams.
Yeah.
I talk about being able to help yourself and helping others. I talk about how to connect with spirit and be able to feel and see them and understand the difference between consciousness and subconsciousness, and being able to understand the difference of ego and egoless, because that has a massive effect on who you are. So it's a very basic written book. So it would be for people who want to take that step in understanding. It is great for those people who are definitely just starting off. So it is becoming a bit like a beginner's little Bible.
Perfect. Okay. So both of your books are available on your website, and obviously people can contact you through your website and certainly on your Facebook page as well. So that's really good. So guys, if you want to know any more, or if you'd like to get any more information from Sasha for your children, or maybe attend a workshop or line her up to come and do a workshop where you live, then get in touch with Sasha yourself through her website, which is www.sashabrisk.com. So thank you so much for being on Look Within with me today, Sasha. And I'll look forward to talking to you again about, whatever we talk about next time.
That'll be good. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to A Look Within, and tune in next time. And for now, bye.